Good morning, everyone. My name is Cheah Kok Hun. Special thanks to my SV lecturer, Azman ibn Ibrahim, and thanks to my SV and my SV for this industrial training is the Encik Chun. Okay, now I'm going to present my industrial training presentation. Okay, first of all, I will talk about abstract. It's a summarize for this industrial training. This training is for undergraduate student like me, and it's going to developing a professional attitude and train discipline, skill, teamwork, and technical knowledge. And we also explore and thus improve our practical skill, like problem solving, doing research, how to do the report, and also improve our soft skill. And other than that, I also been trained as a marketing engineer and also be a professional to provide the best service as a service engineer. Other than that, I'm very happy that I can train in the 4 departments, which are the engineering department, polyurethane PU department, fabrication department, and also the conveyor belt department. Okay. For the acknowledgement, I'm really thankful to my boss, which is our general manager, Mr. Ivan Tan, and special thanks to Mr. Chun as my supervisor, who guide me, demonstrate, and explain a lot of the practical and the theoretical knowledge to me throughout the training. Next, I will begin to the chapter 1 regarding the introduction. Okay, first of all is the objective. As we know that this is a compulsory program for every degree student in order to complete their degree courses. And it's also very important because it helps us to adapt the working environment. And the second important point is we can apply the theoretical theory into the technical skill. And then we also train to write the report. And this is one of the important points. We can improve our soft skill and the creativity. And beside that, we also can determine the potential engineering problem. We can come up with a solution that we can propose it in the final year project. And also we were trained to present this report orally and also in a written form. Okay, this is a scope of the training, and which by we can apply the theoretical knowledge and learn the medical technology and apply it in our working environment. Beside that, also I will be assisting the staff in monitoring, installing, and maintaining the equipment. And I also appoint as a self-engineer and set up the marketing strategy. Other than that, I also in charge on doing the quotation and purchase material for the project. And I also being developed the e-shop and also advertising through the e-platform, which is using the Shopee, Lazada, and also the Facebook. Other than that, also we're going to use the AutoCAD for drawing the 2D and 3D model, and also achieve the objective for this internship. Now I begin with the chapter 2, which is company background. Okay, my company name is the TJM Engineering and Enterprise, which started to operate in the 1st of March in 1988. And our company vision is to expand this business in the mass production in an international trading company. Our natural characteristic of a company is we supply and customize to fabricate industrial spare part and the equipment. We have 4 main departments, which are the conveyor belt, polyurethane PU, engineering, and fabrication. Our industrial profile is like more to the manufacturing, fabrication, vendor, custom made, side joint conveyor belt, and international trading. This is our location of our company, which is located in the IKS Duyong. And this is the organization chart of my company. As you can see here is the general manager, following by my supervisor, which is a service and sales engineer. I was a personal assistant of Mr. Tia, and this is my other colleagues. Okay. Next, I will proceed with the student jobs code. I will be the personal assistant of Mr. Tia Chun. and our learning basic skill from the 4 departments as I mentioned just now. And also I learned to do the quotation, and I was in charge to deliver the complete product to my customer. And I was managing the e-shop like the Lazada, Shopee, and I will do advertising in e-platforms such as Facebook. I will use the Facebook sponsor to advertise, to approach the new customer to the online platform. And also our recruiting the sales through site visiting means that we visit the new company or the old company, and we will do the PR to recruit the sales. Next, I will proceed to chapter 3, which is the main point of this presentation is the training activities. First of all, I will be trained in the conveyor belt department. I will learn to differentiate the types of conveyor belt, the properties and its application. And also I will learn how to trim and cut the belt. Besides that, I also learned how to join the belt. And I gained also some experience on joining some project on assembly the conveyor structure. And I also learned to use some tools and equipment that related to this department. These are the conveyor belt available in my factory. On the first one, on the left-hand side, the black color is a rubber conveyor belt. On the right-hand side, the green color will be the PVC conveyor belt. The bottom first picture is a transmission belt. The middle one was a PU conveyor belt. This is a food grade belt, which normally used in the food industrial. And the last one is 8 manual belt. This is the manual belt. Manual belt normally used in the poultry farm to remove the chicken shit. But this is being improved and being fabricated by my company to penetrate the hole, which is used to transfer the egg from the poultry farm. Okay, this is the type of joinings. Okay, first of all, this is a hot joint. Okay, which normally used on the PVC and transmitter belt. Okay, normally we need to cut the belt into the finger joint with the help of a finger joint steel. And then we will join by the hot machine, but we need to do some setting, which is the temperature required is 180 Celsius, and the pressure requires 1.5 bar, and also the time requires 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And the middle, we also need to put the gum foil. After all, we will press start and then let it operate. After 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we couldn't open it. We need to let it cool down. When it cool down to the temperature about 65 degrees, and then only we will manage to open it, and we will obtain a perfect joint from this hot joint machine. Next, we're talking about cool joint. This is one of the famous joint which is used for the rubber belt. First of all, we need to use a knife to cut the layer and divide it into small square area in both ends. After cutting it, we need to use the clamper to clamp it to remove the layer. Normally, we will, for the 3 price, right, we will divide it to 1/3, that means about 33%. Okay, we're removing 33% for the 3 layer, followed by 33% for the second layer, and then the 33% for the 1 layer. And then after removing the layer, we will use the grinder to grind to obtain a smooth finishing surface. And then after that, we will mix the gum in order to improve the times of harden, right? So we will mix together the gum and the hardener, and then after we will apply it throughout the joint area, which is the area just now we remove the layers. And then we will wait for about 2 minutes, and then we will stick both sides together, and then we will get a perfect cool joint. After we stick together, we will use the roller to roll it, and also use the mallet to knock in order to remove the excess air in order to get a perfect joint. And this is another joint, cool joint by the PVC belt. It's almost the same as a rubber belt, just we're using the slicing machine to remove the layer of the belt. And we will use the same method. We'll mix the hardener and gum and apply it throughout the joint area. And then lastly, we'll use the roller and the mallet to knock and to roll to remove the excess air in order to obtain the ideal joint. Okay, This is the third method of joining, which are the mechanical joint, which are we have the lacing and clipper, and this is suitable to use in the rubber belt, PVC belt, 8-manual belt. Okay, first of all, we need to insert the clipper or lacing into the clipper conveyor belt lacing tool. After that, we insert the belt and then lock it tightly. And then we need to roll the handle half round to reduce the height. In the same time, when we roll, we need to push from left to right. So that means it will be like that. Okay, and you will apply the pressure on the clipper to clip it on the belt. And then we need to continue the step, which is the third step and fourth step, until the clipper fully embedded into the belt. And then we're going to do the same procedure on both sides. In order to join the mechanical joint, we'll put both joints which have already embedded with the clipper put together, and then we put one string of steel, and then you will lock it lah. This is how the mechanical joint used. And then we'll proceed into the project, which I have the chance. I'm very happy I can join the assemble a conveyor structure in the recycle station in the KL area. First of all, we unload all the requirement tools, the equipment, the conveyor belt for the lorry, and also the 4-wheel drive. And then we assemble the part by applying the bolt and nuts with the help with the electric screwdriver. And then when everything is assembled already, we will lift off the thing with the help of the forklift. And then my senior will welding the leg to support the frame. And then together we cooperate to pull and allocate the heavy PVC belt along the structure. After that, we're performing hot joint, as I mentioned just now. After performing the hot joint, we will connect the power supply. After that, we will test running by turning on the motor. Remember that day everything is smooth and the customer are satisfied with our service. Okay, this is another mini project which I involving is like first of all, I need to measure and cut off the dimension that according to the customer request in the purchase order. After that, I will use the sample to mark hole with the liquid paper. So after marking hole, I need to use the driller to drill the hole, and the bottom cover, I was put a wood plate in order to protect the floor. I remember there are many holes. I think about 10,000 holes like that. It took me 2 days to complete this task. Next, our proceed is what I learned in the engineering department. First of all, I learned the conversion unit like inch and mm, meter to feet, inch and wound. I also learned how to measure the roller with a proper method by using the measuring tape, vernier caliper, and how to differentiate the part and also its function. And then I also learned how to read the table, which is answer pipe, which is used to determine which pipe is suitable for the project, and the bearing table, how to read the sizes and the type in order to purchase the correct bearing. And then also I learned how to sketch product in my notebook, and also after that I need to draw in the AutoCAD. I also learned how to assemble and disassemble some of the sample products. And I also learned to use the bottle jack pressure in order to insert the bearing into the dryer. I also learned to use the basic tool like hammer, knife, screwdriver, spanner, grinder, driller, and others. Okay, this is one of the roller that I sketch it, and first of all I measure, and then after I obtain the dimension, and then I will draw it into this notebook. And also the first, second, and third, which are the materials I require to purchase. Okay, these are the one of the example is I converted the drawing from the sketch into the AutoCAD drawing. Then this one will be have a clearer dimension and more accurate. And this one will print out, and then I will pass to my colleague in the engineering department to proceed the fabrication of this roller. I also have the chances to do the drill hole on this scraper. I will refer the dimension for the drawing, and then I will measure it and marking with the measuring tape and the liquid paper. After that, I will use the puncher to make a small hole for marking. After that, I will allocate this one on the milling machine, install and tighten the tool for during this hole. I will adjust now the tool to check the position, match with the small hole that I made just now. And then if it match, it will continue the drill slowly, and I'll put some oil as a lubricant and also add as a coolant effect. And then I will adjust the X position of milling machine to proceed of the second hole, and also continue with the same process as I mentioned just now, and also continue to drill until all the holes are completed. Next, I also have the chance to involve in the polyurethane, which are PU short form department. Learn overall the concept of making PU product. Learn the concept to make the male and female mold. Assist the pre-working on preparation and also finishing work. Okay, now I'm going to explain the concept of manufacturing PU product. First of all, we need to use a sandblasting to make our roller surface become rough. After that, we will put the roller into the mold on the top of glass, fix it with some silicone gun to seal the extra gap, and also the silicone will hold it on firmly on the glass. After that, we will locate it into preheat under temperature of 170 Celsius in the oven. And then we will use the stove to cook the ratio of mixture of PU according to the correct portion. And then we will pour this liquid mixture into the mold and put it into vacuum machine to remove the air bubble. After that, we will put the PU mixture together with the mold and then heat up for 2 hours inside the oven. Then we will remove the roller from the mold and put it into the oven for the heat treatment for 8 hours. After that, the last step is when we obtain the roller coating with PU. In order to obtain the correct dimension, we will use the lathe machine to remove the excess PU. Okay, this is the PU department. This one is the first picture is the oven I mentioned. This is a vacuum machine, and this is the dryer bearing mold, and this is the product is a dryer bearing coating with the PU. This is one of the hot product as I sell a lot in the Shopee and Lazada, and I will explain it detail on later on. Okay, next proceed with the fabrication department. Fabric discussion is I learned how to differentiate different types of steel, the properties and its application, and is allocated in factory 2, which has the same place as the PU department. And then need to ensure the good communication between customer and the head of department of fabrication and engineering to ensure that fabricate a desired product to match customer demand. And then I also involved in fabricate a hanger structure for hanging the conveyor belt. And I also assist my general manager to improve the new oven in the factory 2. Right, this different color, as we say, is a different grade of steel they use to marking. Different factory, they have a different color of marking. And normally the mount steel we're using, we have few types, which is the famous one is 709, 705, 760, 720, or 5919. Okay, as what I learned is for 760, they possess a medium tensile and it's low hardened ability. And normally if we use to fabricate the shaft and roller, while for the mount steel possess a high tensile hardened, is suitable to fabricate the gear and the gear shaft. Okay, this is the fabrication department now. Okay, assisting my general manager to improve the new oven. First of all, we're measuring the size we require to make the turner for the air to flow. After that, after we get the length, we sketching down, and then we manage to find the suitable steel plate, and then we use the bending machine to bend it into the shape we want. Afterward, we fix in the oven by using the bolt and nut. And then for the certain gap, we are using the welding to seal the gap between the air turner and oven. This is another mini project I involved to is my company want to do a structure to hang the conveyor belt. So first of all, we go to measure the available wall and space in factory 3 with my supervisor, Mr. Tia. And then we measure the diameter of one row of conveyor belt and add 300 mm gap for lift out and take out the belt. And we sketch and design the frame and we do some assumption. In order to correct the proper side, we need to draw in the AutoCAD in order to obtain the desired size. After that, we proceed with purchasing the material and proceeding to cut the steel by using the grinder slicing machine, and also we welding it by using the MIG. When the structure are fully fabricated, we need to shift from the factory 2 to factory 3, and we fix it on the factory 3 wall by using the bolt and nut with the aid of the screwdriver and the dowel. When everything is completed, we load out the conveyor on it, and it successfully can support the heavy conveyor belt. And this is another department I involved, which are the sales and marketing department. I setting up the Facebook account for my company, and I also use the Facebook account to setting out a news page for my company. I will normally update the dairy product we can fabricate and we can manufacture. And I also learn how to use the Facebook setting, and it take me some time to learn from YouTube, and I consult with some friends and some seniors. And then finally, I managed to use the Facebook sponsor and to look for the potential customer during this MCO period. And below are the Facebook account and the page link. And this is the picture screenshot on my Facebook page. And also the second image is the sponsor advertising that I have made by using the Facebook application. And next, which I said just now, is like managing the e-shop. This is one of the e-shop I manage in the Shopee. Normally, I will gather the information from the internet, and then I will snap the product for each product, and then those photos will be through and edit in the Photoshop. I also design a own magazine logo, and then I add in the logo into my pictures. And then before I upload the product with the content, I will check the price with other competitor, and also will check the price list in my computer in order to determine the best price to sell. I also joined some campaigns like 77, 88, or 99 sales to obtain more sales. And then I will regularly reply all the messages in the chat box. And when I'm receiving the order, I will print out the statement, I will do some packaging, and then I will deliver to partnership, example like J&T, Ninja Van, and then afterward, I will inform my client regarding I will do everything, and then hoping them to rate me for 5-star for my shop. This is the second shop I learned to open, which are the Lazada e-shop. It will be the same thing that I proceeding in the Shopee. And then this is the company listing. There are many categories, and you can see they have the quality, packaging, carton box, food, cable company, engineering company, and many more. I will find this potential customer through the Google. I will look for the different category of company. I will gather their company name, their phone number, their email, and also their address. And then after getting all these details, I will arrange a time to make a cold call to reach the maintenance and all the purchasing department. I will doing some PR with them, and then I will promote that what is my company TJM can provide the service or anything we can fabricate and manufacture. And then I managed to make appointment to visit the factory. Other than that, I also send the catalog through the email or WhatsApp to them. Next, I will proceed to the chapter 4, which are the conclusion and the recommendation. As a conclusion, right, this industrial training really enhanced the competency and competitiveness. And I managed to relate and apply the theory which I learned in the university in a working place, and it helped me to gather a lot of experience. And then I managed to understand a lot of operation in different company, as I have the chances to visit like poultry farm, the grape farm. I can visit the Julie Biscuit, is a food industrial, and then I managed to go to the road builder company, and I also been to the quarry station and many more. So I get the chances to understand that different operating in different type of company background. Other than that, I found out my soft skills improved significantly, which are very important for me for working in the future. And then other than that, I'm very lucky that I have chances to do business through the e-platform, which I have never have chances to do it. Throughout this industrial training, I managed to open the shop in Shopee, Lazada, and also the Facebook. And overall, it achieved the industrial objective. For the recommendation, I have ideas we can use for the final year project. I want to develop a 3D machine that using the PU material to print out the coating on the product. With the major consideration, I want to reduce the manufacturing time. As we know that it's taking about 1 day to do the process of making the PU. I want to shorten the time. Other than that, every time when the product is completed, coated, you need to use the lathe machine to remove the excess PU, which are something that very, we can say that a waste for the money and also the PU. So I want to reduce the waste of PU during the lathe process, because through the 3D machine helping, we can obtain the precise shape. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thanks. Now it's a Q&A section. If you have any question, you can ask me, or you can type in the below comment, or you. So we will further discuss regarding this presentation. Thank you, everyone.